one of the things we want to do in shoeing is we want to establish a relationship with the client that gives them value to our service, that makes us a little special to them so that when we raise our prices every year, they keep going with us. I mean, every year we want to make a little bit more money. And so write down the important items. Rather than having just a regular list of what your clients are, I have a little directory that I used when I was shoeing, and it listed important events. I had a lady that went back to work because her son got accepted to Harvard, and her entire income was Harvard. And all you did was walk out and go, "How's Johnny doing in that Ivy League?" And I would shoe for 2.5 hours with all her horses out there, and that's what she constantly talked about. And now I'm connected with the family. Same thing with horses' names, anything the kids are doing. If she happens to mention a big show she's going to that she's nervous at, write that down so the next time you come out, you start right in as if you're part of that little horse family. And it makes a big difference to what they consider your value to them and their horses.
Be honest with your client, Mike.
This is important. None of us know everything there is about shoeing. None of us know everything about being a veterinarian. I would tell you that when you come up to a situation, you see it, and you're not sure about it, don't be afraid to say, I'd like to contact Bob and discuss this with Bob and see what his opinion on this. He has a lot of knowledge about this type of problem, and I would really like to get his opinion on this before I go any farther. Or maybe you're looking at a foot and the laminus is stretched really bad, and you really think you need some x-rays. Well, say that. Tell the client, I can't go any farther without some lateral x-rays. Be honest with them. If you're honest with them, they will trust you even more. I use these techniques all the time. There's things, I don't know everything. And so there's people, and this goes back to our mentors. We can go back to our mentors and say, I've got this problem. What do you think? Or I need this type of procedure done on the horse before I can go any further.
Arm health.
It's a repetitive job that we have. We bend over and we swing our arms, all right? And so, as such, you need to make sure that you try to maintain good arm health. Do a lot of stretching exercises before you go to work, and stretch when you're done. Also, one of the things that I learned from some blacksmiths was use a rubber band. Take some rubber bands in the morning before you go to work and put them around your fingers and flex them open, and do it driving down the road, listening to your songs or whatever. Do that 20 times with each arm. Swap off, and at the end of the evening, do it again. What you're trying to do is you're trying to build up the strength of all the muscles in your arm. We tend to stress just one or two, and that's when we get into tendonitis situations. And it can be tendonitis on the inside of the elbow or tendonitis on the outside of the elbow, depending on what you're doing. So you want to try to build those arms up and maintain good flexibility and good tensile strength.
Fire clients with professionalism.
Yeah, the problem that in this industry we have is that a lot of you guys will go out there and have a bad client and just not return the phone call. And that's where we get the reputation as guys who don't return phone calls, don't show up, that type of thing. When you have a client that's got an ill-mannered horse, you need to fire him for cause. You do your brothers and sisters in the industry a favor and let them know why you're discharging them as a client, particularly ill-mannered horses. When you get into a conflict with the client, when they start to micromanage your shoeing and you get to the point where you just don't want to deal with this anymore, don't blow up. That's the only thing people remember is an upset, screaming farrier. The way that I discharge clients is that I reach the point where I know that this is not going to work anymore. And what I tell them is that it's obvious you've lost confidence in my ability to set your horse up properly. And it's really important that you have confidence in your farrier. And I give them cards of other local farriers, and I wish them luck. And that's how I discharge somebody, which is the same thing as yelling at them, except leave professionally, because they'll only remember that upset, screaming farrier. They won't remember the reason why you're discharging them.
Finishing to draw attention to your work.
This is an easy way of telling people I'm a professional and I'm really interested and I really want to have a really nice job done on your horse. If you take and finish a foot really well by taking and sanding the foot, taking wood putty around the holes, and then putting some type of hoof shell around it, that foot stands out. Now I'll tell you something else about that. If you do a poor job on that foot, it stands out too. So it makes you work harder. But it also does something else. In that barn, if you only have one horse in that barn that you're doing, every time that horse walks out of that stall for the next 8 hours or 24 hours, people see that beautiful work that you did and can see that you really love what you're doing, that you care about what you're doing. So finishing is very important. I'll tell you, a lot of clients, the only thing they ever see on the horse is your finish. A lot of people are not very good riders, but they do see the finish.